of liberty shall long be ours. Though new her name, great be her fame, and mighty be her powers. Though new her name, great be her fame, and mighty be her powers, and mighty be her powers, and mighty be her powers. In joy and gladness, with our hearts united, we shout the freedom of our rest benighted. Long live Liberia, happy land, a home of glorious liberty by God's command, a home of glorious liberty by God's command. God bless Liberia.
This one a real one. Who Yankee? I'm a real sick a long time. Lyrical, mash up the place.
Okay, you're not able to take care of Babunebu. You're not able to boss the rata Babunebu. Also, Moki Kamida. Oh, Moki Kamida. Moki Kamida. Oh, Moki Kamida. Moki Kamida to you. Moki Kamida to you. Moki. Also, Moki Kamida to you. Moki Kamida to you. Once upon the time, in the jungle, there lay so many animals and so many trees. You were no day, there were no restrictions. Anytime, any day, anyone used to go on and go.
All right, folks, welcome to the show. Welcome to the numbers discussion. Welcome to Talk TV Media Network. My name is Sam Gado. Welcome. I hope you all are having a pleasant evening, pleasant day, pleasant afternoon. Wherever you are, welcome to Talk TV Media Network. This is your broadcast. There's 6 of elections, projections, analysis. You know, everything is taking place on every social media platform or network. But we are here to bring it to you independently. Are you happy with the results so far? Are you content or not? If you are not, why? If you are happy, why are you happy? Are we heading for a runoff? We'll find out. Most likely, we might. But the numbers are in. On day 6, the National Election Commission pronounced the numbers. Are there irregularities? Yes, there are irregularities. What is NEC doing with those irregularities? We will find out. Is the Unity Party moving to the second round up with any win? We'll find out. Welcome to the show. What is CDC doing behind the scene that you and I are not seeing? What is happening to the Southeast that you and I are not seeing? You will find out right here. My boy, Pat Newman, welcome to the show. Welcome, all of you. I want to welcome all of you tonight. Monkey, come down. I wonder which monkey is coming down or which whatever. I'm not the one singing this song. But I'm going to play this 1 more minute or 30 seconds, and I'll be back. Fire up. So stay tuned. Don't go. Don't share the link. Share the broadcast. And I am dropping in the link tonight. It's your show. I want to be able to do less talking. If you are able to come on the show tonight, anyone who is watching or listening, you are more than welcome. Are you content with the election so far? Has NEC been honest or fair with the results, pronouncements? Do you think so? Join the broadcast tonight. And I'm dropping a link very quick, so all of you can come in to the show right now. Because it's important for us to discuss this, to see where the problems are, to see what is ahead, what's coming. We need to find out. Because this is all about Liberia. This is all about the alma mater, the only cherry pick, the only apple that all of us have in common. So the link is right there in the comment sections. Any of you, your observations, your opinion with what you are seeing, the way you're looking at the numbers. Welcome to the show. Monkey, calm down.
Monkey, can I get tired? Say monkey, chop yo. Monkey, can I get tired? Monkey, chop. Monkey, can I get tired?
Oh, yeah. How you expect the monkey to be tired? The monkey on top of the banana tree. The monkey will not get tired until the banana finish.
Monkey, can I get tired? You not able to bust the right up, babu. Also, monkey come down. Oh, monkey come down. Monkey come down. Oh, monkey come down. Monkey come down to you. Monkey come down to you. Monkey.
Okay, folks, welcome back. Welcome. This is how we do it here at Talk TV Media. We amuse you. Don't take this politics thing too hard now. Because y'all, the Liberian people, African, we like to take things so personal. It's just politics. Don't take it too hard. I know some people are disappointed. Some people are not disappointed. Some people are okay the way the system is moving. You know, believe me, it can get, if you allow yourself, it will get into your blood system. Your blood will start boiling inside of you, especially when you know that something supposed to be right and it's not right. And those in charge are turning it to be wrong. It can get under your skin. It can boil in your blood. You wish you were at the forefront where you could just bam. But that is all part of life. So don't look at this whole election process the way things are going. You know, the turnout, the numbers, the people, the polling, the delays, the strategies people are playing to play with our minds, you know, to tolerate the results the way they are coming. Giving the other people who are in charge of running the government, who are in charge of also the very NEC, National Elections Commission, decide the fate of many. Because it's not that difficult. It's not a rocket science, folks. The people go to the pool, they vote, they tally, get the results. All you have to do is read the results or post them. Right? Votes coming from the countryside where it is so difficult for people to reach, right? For people where people had a lot of hard time, difficulties to even take the ballot boxes for people to vote. Results are coming there early. Then those of you that live in Bone, Magibi, Montserrado, Nimba, it's taking so long, the space, right? Look at the space. I could be wrong, but this is my analysis. I just have a unique way of looking at things. Why the delay? Where the technology? Where there were polling centers or people were there and where they could take the polling, the ballot boxes in the morning. And at the end of the day, they have the numbers. What caused the delay of announcing those numbers? And the numbers in the hinterland came in before. The numbers in River G, Sino, Maryland, Lofa, Bapolo, all coming in before numbers in Grand Bassa, before numbers in Bon, in Bomi, Montserrado itself. Can you imagine that? Montserrado. So all those areas where there were huge population, voter turnout at play, they were delayed. They will tell you, oh, we were working on it. It's easy to find an excuse. That is typical of every human being. We all can find an excuse as long as we want to. As long as you don't want to do something, you always have an excuse. It's very typical. But to me, it's not an excuse that I would grant, I would take. Because if any numbers were to come out first, after the day of polling ended, it will be Magibi, Bon, Montserrado, Nimba, because all those places are very easily accessible. Very easily accessible. Right? That's it. But why they held on all those numbers? Why did the National Election Commission play on the minds of the people to make them believe that this is a runoff? I'm here to dispel a lot of notions tonight. At the same time, we'll discuss the numbers. But I'd like to challenge the notion of people. I don't want the people to feel that it is not because the people are quiet or sitting down silent and watching that they are stupid. They're not stupid. They know what's going on. They say, oh, let's push it. Let's push it hard. Because at the end of the day, they don't want destruction. They say, we want the peace for Liberia. Yes, we all want peace, but don't take advantage of people. If someone leaves to go to the ballot box and cast their vote, your ultimate responsibility is to count that vote. That's all you have. That is why you are employed. And this is where I really, really think lawmakers that are coming in need to step on. The National Election Commission needs to be a neutral body that is elected. Its officials and commissioners should be elected and not appointed by the president. The fact that they are appointed by the president causes a lot of questions in play. That's it. The National Election Commission is supposed to be a neutral body. But if it is a body that is appointed by the president, it's clear. In whose direction do you think the election will go? Until the people are so angry for the second roundup that they will try to steal the numbers and manipulate the numbers in any way, but they will find no way out. That is the only way. But why do we have to allow our system to operate that way? Why? Why should we allow our system to operate that way. We're a democracy. We're a democratic nation where people rights, where your right is important. Number one, in national election, that's my first recommendation. If I were a lawmaker, I would take that. That would be the first thing I will pass. I will work on it, and I will collaborate with my colleagues, right? Or senators or representatives pass that. You get a good boost on that. The number two thing, before I begin the numbers discussion tonight, I would recommend as a lawmaker is to make sure that elections are not held in a rainy season. The elections should be held during the dry season, where it's easily accessible to the rural areas, where everybody can partake, where everyone can be part of the process. Folks, why have elections 6 months, rainy season pouring, where cars cannot go, where candidates cannot go to campaign? This has been ongoing. Where are our legislators, our representatives? I just put 2 bills right there on the floor for you representatives and lawmakers. And you will shine if you take that bill. That's it. It's simple. Because why? Majority will be in favor of that. Even the president will be in favor. Because there were areas where the president could not go. He had to fly with his chopper. So it is just common sense that elections should be held during the dry season. Dry season. Summer, which we call here summer. That's it. And the National Election Commission needs to be an elected body, not appointed. When are you guys going to do? What are you guys going to do with the Constitution? No. If you have 20 political parties vying for the seat of the presidency of a nation, and you have the entity that is solely in charge to supervise that process, to making sure that that process is free and fair and unbiased, that entity is appointed by the president of the country, guess what? In any way, I don't care how fair or how honest that person is, deep down in your heart, they owe some sort of loyalty to the president. That is what that does. And it's just a phone call from the president. You remember, I gave you this job. Y'all need to do something. This is not going down right. To manipulate the process behind closed doors. So that is why it needs to be this entity. The National Election Commission needs to be an elected entity. Because when someone is elected, when it turns into an institution that is elected by the people for X number of years or electoral process, that person will, at that point, will hold no loyalty to the president. They will execute a level playing field. That's what they would do. Because they know at that point that even you, the president, cannot fire me. That is one reason. But do you know that the president can fire David Brown and remove her? The entity that is solely responsible to declaring who the next president of Liberia is? That's it, folks. That's it. To me, it's just nonsensical. For real. Okay. Let me take you guys to the national tally today. As many of you guys are already aware, by today, we should have known who the next president was going to be. We should have known today if we were moving into the runoff. And we do know. Because from all indications from what we are looking at, with the National Election Commission's numbers, we will be moving into the runoff. But my thing is, at that point, only 2 people, contenders, CDC and the Unity Party. Is the Unity Party and the opposition prepared for this runoff? knowing very well the European Union has already accused in their findings and report that the government was biased. They could not have a level playing field. That the government broke a lot of rules. That is the EU report. They were using government facilities and properties to run their campaign, which is wrong, which is against the Constitution. The state-owned radio station has turned into a propagandist radio station for the government, the ELBC. Do you guys ever see the only state-owned radio station that you and I, our taxes sponsor to run, cover the opposition in this election, cover JMB, the most expensive cameras and equipment they have? It is not the sitting government, it is the taxpayers' money. But they only cover one person. There's no level playing field. But that does not mean that you should give up the voters, because at the end of the day, your vote is still needed. You still have that power. Because if you don't vote, you are making the wrong decision makers. People you don't want to make laws for you and decisions for you, they will be elected to make laws and decisions for you. This is one quote that I like when I'm always saying this. Bad politicians are elected by good people who do not vote. So people need to be mad, people need to be upset and show that anger in a runoff. The way they have shown it in this, whatever led to the runoff, whatever that made them feel that they were cheated, that their votes didn't count, this is the time they need to do that in a runoff, to making sure that they send a clear message. That is what you need to do. Don't give up. The race has not ended until you get to the finish line. That's it, until you get to the finish line. Another issue that I want to raise before I talk about all these numbers that many of you are already aware of is the issue of the opposition. Are you guys playing your political role behind the scene by getting all these opposition people that are dropping off now and members and supporters on the bandwagon of the rescue train? Are you doing that? Because it's already glaring that the elections will be heading for a runoff. Now, what political strategies do you have in play for the runoff? Today, there was a question I asked the chairlady of the NEC. And that was one of my biggest questions, because that has been one of the problems that caused a lot of issues, not giving them, facility. Oh, we don't have enough money, blah, 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 to run this and that, to do this, to employ more pool workers and all of that stuff. Today, a journalist asked her that question. Madam Chairlady, do you have all the funds you need for runoff to make sure that in a runoff that there's no problem, no glitches? And she said yes. She said yes. Okay. We'll find out. She's on record, folks. Politics. So today, for almost 2-3 days, Judge Weah has been on a lead bowl, taking the lead. But today, from the total tally, UP is on top of the board now. He's on top of the board with 748,463 votes, 43.70%. Followed behind him with George Manawia of the CDC, 747, 1,578 votes, which translated into 43.65%. So when you look at what's left and the percentages that they have, when you tabulate that and distribute that, and the areas that are left to be counted, it makes it impossible to make a 50 plus 1%. But then my question here is, the Unity Party have observers. They have told us, their supporters, that they have the numbers to reveal, to prove that this is a one-time victory. What are you guys doing? It is perfectly fine to have a press conference and say, because you have your observers there, and tally all of that, because these sheets were signed by magistrates of different counties and districts and submitted. It's the same thing that was sent to NEC. You have it. You are not pronouncing yourself as the winner. But based on your tally you have, I will have a press conference and release those numbers. When you do that, you put in the National Election Commission to the back. They're back on the wall. Because now they go back to work to making sure that whatever they are bringing, it must coincide. It must be side by side to compare apples to apples. But they are letting the National Election Commission to take the lead. Do your part. These are folks, our supporters. These are the numbers we have. We had all these polling precincts, all these polling stations. We had our observers, our tally sheets, and everything was done right. And then all political parties signed onto it. But this is what we have. For peace sake, for our supporters and the world to see, this is what we have from the election result. But we are not pronouncing ourselves as the winners. The only sole entity entitled to doing that is the National Election Commission. Do that and sit back. You put their back to the wall. That's what happens. You put their back to the wall. Because if you put them in the driver's seat, where they feel comfortable, they came up with the results, they won. They won results, were not impressive in the first place, right? They were not impressive. It raised a lot of eyebrows and a lot of questions by some of us and other people. They released a little bit to please you, right? All of that is just nonsense because they're playing on your mind. Day 3, they did the same thing. Oh, okay, let's see what they're going to do day 3. Oh, let's see what they're going to do day 4. Oh, okay, it looks like they're moving. Let's see what they're going to do day 5. It's a mind game. This is how the process, the system work. And they are being successful at it. So the election, the opposition, supposed to know that there's nothing wrong. You're not breaking the rule. You're not breaking the law. These are the findings from all the polling stations where we had our observers. That's it. Publish it. Well, all tally sheets, publish it. Let's see now if they're going to come back and say this tally sheet is wrong with the magistrate's signature and seal on it, stamp on it. That's all. And we still expect the Unity Party, the opposition, to come up with that. We still expect them to come up with that. If they don't, that means they are betraying their people because they have told their people that they have all the evidence that they have 150 plus 1. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you so much, Brother Sam, for the invite.
I'm just getting fired up with this thing. I'm giving every analysis and every observation that I have been able to observe because this is the only area where I speak. If someone comes to Talk TV and say, I'm not doing this, prove it. And then I will back it up and I will show you. Well, what's your impression today with today's results and or so far the entire process? Welcome to the show. Talk to our viewers.
Yeah, thank you so much again, Brother Sam. I think from all indications with the press conference today from the National Election Commission, I think things are not rightly in place from the beginning. They really been announcing the results, and then today, with what we see, they have placed the opposition to a likely runoff election. That's all I can say for now.
They have. So when you look at all the things, some of the things I'm talking to our viewers, our listening audience tonight is number one, NEC. Before we get into the numbers, right? NEC is supposed to be a neutral body. That is what quote unquote is supposed to be. But it's not. Because number one, it is an entity that is appointed by the president. Madam Deviator Brown Lansana can get fired and removed by the president. Two. So all appointment by the president to her, she owes some sort of loyalty to the president, making that entity not or independent. Yeah, making that entity not independent. So when you look at the entire process, and also election of or government officials going to polling stations at night when they should not be there, when government officials who's supposed to make sure that the process is free and fair, that they should not be there, they are not to go to polling stations. Leave the process alone, let the process work. At the SKD, in Nimba, and other few places. All of that is causing chaos. All of that has reversed and changed things around. But they're sitting in their corner, they're drinking their beer and their stout and their whatever wine. They say, yeah, we got them for a runoff. What do you think went wrong? For that the opposition, the Unity Party is going in the runoff. What do you think went wrong?
I think what I observed, the silence of the ruling party, since they started announcing the result, the first day, the second day, you could realize that the ruling party was silent, very silent, and the silence of the ruling party doesn't mean that they were not working on the ground. They were working on the ground, and they were coming on with plans how to alter the result, because from the day they started calling the results from the radio stations that we all monitor and what we have been putting forth here on our own platform here, we all noticed that Joe Barker was heading for a one-round victory. So the CDC or the ruling party remains silent to strategize. And then they strategize in a way,
giving them the delayed tactics, the delayed time to strategize. Yeah.
To strategize. So if you notice, they went 100% with the polling places in Lofa. That has more polling places as compared to Greenville, as compared to Grand Crew, as compared to Sando, as compared to River Cess. If you check, River Cess, River G, Sando, and Grand G still have 10% or 95% still remaining to be counted. When they rush to finish with Lofa, to reduce the votes of Ambassador Joseph Numa Boakai. I just listened to Mo Ali. He said that the presiding officers for the National Election Commission who did the election process, they noticed that certain area, even to the representative, the senator seats, like in district number 8 to be specific, there is a put in place to how they call it, Nathan E. Gibson, which is on the bypass right opposite the parliament. There's a put in place there, Representative Akaras Moses Gray got 72 votes. That was tallied and then signed by all of the observers, and the tally sheets were given to the political party representative or the candidate representative.
Right.
But then the presiding officer for that identical polling station added one behind 72 for Akaro's grade, giving Akaro's grade 172 instead of 72.
Oh, wow.
That was flagged up. Akaro's got 72. That was signed by the various representative of the political parties.
Wow.
And then the presiding officer added one behind the 72 and gave Akaro's grade 172. That was noticed today.
No, one in front.
Yeah. Not in front, at the back. 72 added one at the back. It gave Akaro grade 172.
No, that would be if you have 72, you put one in front. It will give you 172.
You put one in front, you have
it'll be 172. Yeah, it'll be 7. If you put it at the back, it's 751.
Yeah, it was at the back. 72.
So they flagged that out.
Yeah, they flagged that out. So now the Election Commission is going to that they were putting error to counter check. I mean, they did that, it was proven.
Wow.
Yeah. So some of those
and imagine though, imagine this is another proposition. I just have a unique way of thinking about stuff because sometimes people think this system is so flawless, it's so honest, but it's not. It has flaws. And the people you're dealing with are already corrupt. Right? They don't want to leave power, and so they will do whatever it takes. You know, when I saw the numbers coming from Lofa, you see the numbers coming from Nimba, you see the numbers coming from Bon. Bon County has a lot of questions. The people that didn't even vote in Bon County, they are over 42,000 plus.
Yeah,
how true is that? Right. So I raise this question, and we see a lot of numbers coming from the Southeast. So the aspect of the mindset, my thought process is this. Just listen to this, and our viewers. They got into the mindset of the people that let's make them believe that these 7 places to the Southeast, seven counties, are George Weah stronghold terrain. So when we get in their heads and in their minds, we can take as many votes over there to give it to George Weah because they already believe that George Weah is stronghold. Because when you look at the numbers that are coming from there, you can't say United Party make those numbers. So it's most likely, and I'm using the word most likely, that JMB made a lot of numbers there. But because they got into the mind of the people to believing that George Weah control area, they took a lot of JMB votes where he could compete in 7 counties, man. How you will tell me George Weah has 19,000 and UP have 1,000? Look at that.
It's unbelievable.
Right. So when you add all that analysis up and stuff, you're thinking the numbers are coming there because they already made the people think and believe that George Weah is stronghold. So now they already got that area done. And the next thing is we're going to JMB stronghold to compete with him. The numbers that we have got coming out of Lofa, there's no way he can get those numbers. The unknown soldier, because I call him just like you and I, we call the unknown soldier Appleton, the unknown soldier in the race that nobody knew. Whether he was planted or not planted, nobody knew. He's the one coming third with a lot of votes. The unknown soldier. So this is why it is not that all those people to the Southeast really like George Weah. They don't. You want to tell me with 9, 12? Let me back this up, because this is how I like to play with this. Listen to this. Let me remove this stuff that's scrolling over here. All these Southeastern people that you're looking at, we call them Southeastern Company.
Mhm.
The president is from the Southeast. The speaker is from the Southeast. The Senate pro tem from the Southeast. The deputy speaker, the finance minister. All those
Mhm.
people going down, maritime, commerce, central bank governor, immigration boss, all of that going, police director, the LRA, where the money coming from, collecting every day. All the money-making entities and agencies in the country from the goes to the Southeast. Do you want to tell me that those people with no good role, they are struggling and suffering, that they were satisfied with George Weah, that they had to give him all those votes that they gave him overwhelmingly? No, they're not.
It's not possible.
No. That is my analysis. This is the backdrop from where I'm coming. Because those people, if you actually go to the polls, you look at those tallies and stuff, you will know. And this is what, going to the runoff, the Unity Party, the opposition need to be strong enough to go and have observers as to every polling center to the Southeast. You will see what I'm coming up. You and I will come back on the show and you say, Sam, you are right. That is the strategy. And that's what happened. Because they got in our mindset, into the people's mindset, that George Weah owned the Southeast. And so all the numbers is coming from there. Those people, they have their anger.
Yeah, I agree with you, and Brother Sam. I will advise the opposition, which is the Unity Party, to strongly challenge or call for a recount the votes from the Southeast, the votes from NEMA.
How they would do that? They went short. They didn't have not every polling station to the Southeast. They have observers. They
can still call for a recount. For example, the result today that I listing, the unknown soldier got 5,000 plus votes from Bonkante.
Mm-hmm.
They realized from the onset of the announcement of the results, Bonkante, Joe Walker was doing very well. So they realized that Bonkante was a battle zone to the ruling party, which is the home of the current vice president.
Right.
So what Smartlet did is to increase the votes of Appeton, the unknown soldier.
Do you know? Do you know? Not to cut you off. Do you know that Weah is sitting on top in Bon County?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's sitting on top with 76,776, and all along, the Unity Party has been leading Bon County.
Leading Bon County. I wouldn't have problem if Cummings was leading Bon County. Cummings campaign in Bon County.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have problem even if Cummings was making headways. Instead of Cummings leading, if Cummings was making headway in Bon County because Cummings campaign there, I wouldn't have been surprised if Tiawon Gonglo was making headways in Bon County because his running mate is from Bon County.
Right.
But to see an unknown soldier,
yeah,
who didn't show face anywhere during the campaign period, to get 5,000 plus votes in Bon County.
In Bon County.
Yeah.
And
it's a serious question.
With only 72% plus voters, and almost you have which translated into almost 42,000. You can't tell me people. Bon County is a hot spot. Bon County has a lot of people. They are excited to vote. And Bon County it's not a problematic area where it's hard to take ballot boxes or precincts for people to vote. And
very
stuff.
Accessible.
Easily accessible.
Very accessible. Yeah.
Right? And you want to tell me that 42,000 people didn't vote in Bon County.
And then look at the invalid votes. We have 105,000 invalid votes. Yesterday, invalid votes was 80,000. Today, it came up to 105,000. If you call for a recount of the invalid votes, you agree with me. One day, if the opposition party or the Unity Party just do that, you observe that most of the invalid votes were given to Joe Walker.
Yeah.
You observe that.
That's obvious because a lot of every time watch the press conferences for Aviator Brown. Every time she been having press conferences, The questions and where the errors and problems coming from is on the UP side.
Yeah. And then if you observe,
people flag it up and bring it to her attention and say, "Oh, we'll look into that. Oh, we'll look into that." Every time she made a mistake, even in calling a percentage is on the opposition side. It's never on the CD side.
Never made mistake on the CD side. Now,
yeah.
So to tell you that it was something that was planned. And then if you observe in the southeast, there are two counties there, Rivers and then Maryland. If you notice, in Maryland, Unity Party performed in Maryland because of the presence of Senator James Barney, who had a certain senator who support Unity Party. So if you notice in Maryland, a good number of votes came from Maryland for the opposition.
I'm on Maryland. I'm on Maryland chart right now. Maryland, George Weah has 34,990 votes. And Boakai only has 5,420. How possible is that in the first place?
So
how possible with a certain senator who campaign, who they know so well, campaigning over there? No. It is the mindset thing that I talked to you about. It got in the minds of the people. Let's make them believe that George Weah area.
That's what I say. But then
so let's check the votes.
If you even check the Rivers, you'll notice that the votes from Rivers and that of Maryland are quite different from the rest of the southeastern counties because of the presence of Senator James Barney, the presence of Senator Wellington Gifford Smith of Rivers County. So you notice that in Rivers, they tried to reduce the vote of Ambassador Joseph Boakai, but the reduction, was somehow good for Joe Boakai. Unlike the Grand Cru, the Sino, the Grand G there, and the River G, the result there is like a tsunami.
Look at Grand Cru. Grand Cru has 24,222, and you want to tell me the entire county of Grand Cru that Boakai only got 2,556 votes.
So imagine that there's a Grand Cru where when the president went,
you look at just by looking at this number, you will know. As well known as Boakai is, as popular as he is, as tired as the people are, with all their sons and daughters to the southeast, yet the southeast has done nothing. Do you want to tell me that they could not venge that anger?
And then the southeast, they like the Grand Cru. That is the home of the president, where he went. We all saw on the Facebook. His own people rejected him. His presence, they were bold and clear, and said they want to be rescued. There's a Grand Cru today.
That's a Grand Cru. Why they had to bribe them 1 a.m. in the morning?
100,000 kids.
100,000 to take care of them, to quiet them down. Because
to quiet them down.
The video is there. When the president got there late that morning, the people were chanting. They said, "We want rescue. We want rescue." The man was embarrassed.
He was embarrassed. There's a Grand Cru today that is giving the president a very huge chunks of the vote from the place that it is a stronghold. Then also in Maryland, there's a home of the Speaker of the Parliament. This is the home of the Chief Justice. This is the home of the Finance Minister.
Yeah.
Yes, still the Speaker of the Parliament in Buffer Chambers was defeated by a former student leader, Comrade Anthony F. Williams.
A Buffer Chamber can be defeated. What made you think that? Let me see. You said bipolar, right? Is that no?
No, that is Maryland. Maryland,
yeah.
Chambers, yeah.
Maryland.
The speaker is from Maryland. The Finance Minister is from there. The Chief Justice is from there.
Maryland. Let me see if I'm able. The NEC being acting up with their website stuff. So yeah, Maryland is senatorial for Maryland. Brown, Blair.
Yeah, Blair Brown.
Yeah, he got 12,462 votes. And then Topo Wolo got 11,250.
Yeah.
Nangmetia, and the list goes down.
Yeah, so Blair Brown. Blair Brown in 2014, Blair Brown in 2014 was elected on the Unity Party ticket. Senator Blair Brown was elected on the Unity Party ticket. And then he, along with Barney Sherman, George Tengbed, when the impeachment of Kamide Janet was brought to the table at the national legislature, to be specific, and the House of Senate, the United Party asked all of our senators not to support the impeachment of Associate Justice Kamide Janet. Those senators, George Tengbed, our own, Barney Sherman from Grand Cape County, Senator Berbo Brown from Maryland County, they all supported the ruling party to impeach Cabinet Janet. On the basis of that, the United Party suspended all of our senators that affects their signature on the impeachment of Associate Justice Cabinet Janet.
Mm-hmm.
So Berbo Brown has been there with the ruling party, and then he went to the election. Now I can say for a fact he will be elected. He will be re-elected.
Yeah, he will.
He will be elected as a senator for Maryland County.
Because right now, let me see. Right now, there's like 92.8% of votes in.
Okay.
Well, is that the? I'm looking for the
Maryland.
Yeah. Yeah, you have 94.86% votes received so far. 166 polling places out of 175 polling places. So he's sitting. That's not a huge margin though, because it's just 23.29% and 25.8%.
Yeah, but the remaining polling places is almost 100. So he will be re-elected, Rebel Brown.
Wow.
Yeah, but then the politics in the interior, many people don't understand. In the interior, people vote for their children. They don't normally vote for political parties.
Yeah.
In the interior, the rural politics, in the rural counties.
Rural politics. I'm gonna vote for my friend. I'm gonna vote for my family member. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Only certain people who, but the traditional people normally they will do that stuff.
They will do that. Only in Monserrato, where the politics is being controlled. I'm surprised to see people in Monserrato electing people based on political party. Like in 2005, in 2011, in 2017, we saw CDC taking majority of the seats in Monserrato because Monserrato has 17 electoral districts. So from 2005, the politics that we follow back home in 2005, 2011, 2017 was there that CDC used to lead Monserrato. But Monserrato will be an epic center for national politics where people debate national issues. Well, then people used to vote based on political party lines and whatsoever. But I thank God the dynamics are changing in Monserrato. The opposition is shaking Monserrato. If you check down Monserrato legislators.
Richard, another issue that I have with all those, areas, Monserrato, Mogibee, Grand Bassa, Bon, these are areas that are easily accessible. But when you see how David Brown was reporting the results, the places that were so hard for people to reach with ballot boxes, that the place she started, she was bringing reports. And the place where election was held the same day and the ended and results were in, she held those. She held those votes. Monserrato, man, come on.
Yeah,
she has the final tally of Monserrato results. I would say, if I want to be right, on day 2. I would let go day 1 when she announced. That's okay. But day 2, she has significantly almost 90%. But it was a strategy not to announce those.
It was a strategy because had they continued to announce Monserrato or the most accessed counties result, then CDC wouldn't have had these plans how to strategize. Remember, after 2 days to the commencement of the announcement of the results of the just ended election, we heard and it was proven that the president hired the services of ex-general Kaifale, the current superintendent of Grand Jide County, he was lifted through the presidential helicopter. The helicopter the president used to campaign in the Southeast was a helicopter that the president used to bring on board Kaifale and his colleagues to Monserrado. All these things were done to delay the results for Monserrado and the most assessed counties so that the ruling party could strategize how to get things done. And smartly, they succeeded. Even this morning, we got reliable information that there were security meetings held. There was a joint security meeting. In these meetings, it was planned that they asked the chief of staff of the armed forces of Liberia to deploy members of the armed forces of Liberia in the streets of Monrovia, to deploy the army in the streets of Monrovia today.
Is there a crisis? Is there a crisis for them to do that?
This is what happened. They have been beyond the National Election Commission to announce the president tomorrow as a winner. But then prior to that, they were advised that they can only do that if they get the support of the joint security, mainly the military, to deploy armed personnel, more especially the military in the streets of Monrovia.
Did they agree?
And then tomorrow they would have announced George Weah as the head of the president-elect. But in the meeting, the chief of staff of the armed forces of Liberia, thank God, he is a trained military personnel. In their meeting, he rejected the proposal of the head of the joint security that he cannot deploy members of the armed forces of Liberia in the street prior to the announcement of the final results. Let the will of the people be done.
But the only time the military comes out one day is chaos.
Yeah. That's the way the military is supposed to come out. But when you have a creeping dictator, these things happen. They use the military.
These guys don't respect the rules. They're just doing whatever they like doing.
You watch a video, the CDC government don't believe in the rule of law. In the rule of law, you watch the video from FOIA where the secretary superintendent told you, recommending to Thomas Falla that they needed a police commander that is purely a citizen. They needed a magistrate that is purely a citizen. You think these are people that believe in the rule of law? No, they don't. They don't.
Wow. They don't. Oh, you're talking about what's that video? I think I had that video here somewhere.
Moses Sonjo is
I think you're talking about it. Right?
Yeah.
And the thing that disturbed us here, to my disgrace and to the disgrace of many peace-loving people, we don't have a police commander that you can tell this man is denigrating government. We want to have him apprehended for saying or for insulting officials. You go there, they will tell you, say, we cannot do that. You go up and down, it will not be done. And when you go to the court is not you. They will tether you. They will disgrace you. So the arms and ammunition that we want people to supply us with, we want a police commander that is purely sedition, the deputy that is purely sedition, and officers that are sedition, so that when we talk as a team. And we want a court judge, the magistrate, and all the people, most of the people that are in that court, to be seditions to the court, so that they would interpret.
That's a video. So are these people that believe in the rule of law? No. And his recommendation.
Jungle justice. We call that jungle justice.
Jungle justice. And his recommendation was well executed by Tifa. The current police commander for FOIA is a former personal bodyguard to Thomas Falla.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. If you check on his post, maybe he have deleted it on Besa Kwali's post on Facebook when he was appointed as police commandant for FOIA. He posted on Facebook appreciating Thomas Falla for the opportunity given to him to serve as a commander for the police detachment in FOIA district.
Wow.
And people who used to see him with Tifa, I mean, they will tell you. So the CDC-led government have been believing in justice till to date. If they are believing in justice, Gifty Lamar and Abba Peter, the auditor, wouldn't have died. And then the president will come on national radio through his quote-unquote Claw church to speak to his members that these distinguished personalities were having men and women business. Sorry for the language, men and women business in the car, and then that's how they died. He killed them. Where in this world will you say that? These are, I mean, people who work for their money, they have their families, they have homes. Even if they want to do these things, it will not be on Broad Street. It will be in the corner.
Right.
The three missing boys, what the action you saw from the government? No. The death of Batem Israel, the former Auditor General from the Internal Audit Agency, who didn't see any report from that. They don't believe in justice. Today, the former Chief Justice, the former Justice Minister, the former Senator from Maryland is being barred today. Councilor Clora Musu spot.
Yeah, these were all strategies, you know, that for these elections, because she was a very strong loyal supporter
for the opposition
and internationally recognized. Gloria Mususka was internationally recognized. Is not even was, is internationally recognized. So there she sits behind bars. You know, let's put something on her. Let's find some sort of dirt on her, and that will enable us to lock her up. You know, and then we move forward with the next strategy, a plan. But let's go back to these numbers that we're discussing the other day before we get to these numbers. I hope our man was here to look at these numbers.
Kofi?
Yeah, because I am looking at the battleground state numbers that he was talking about. You see, Bon and Grand Bassa, Margibi, and Monserrato.
Yeah.
To a larger extent, this was a very good strategy he had come up with, that they were going to be contested. Because when we were discussing these numbers the last time, look at Bon. We put Bon, I still have the stuff here. JMB was sitting on top of the table.
He still sits on top.
In Bon?
Yep.
Hold on.
In Bon.
Let me check that out. Bon. No, my man.
It's Margibi. It's Margibi.
We are sitting on top of Bon with 76,776.
Yeah, it's Margibi here.
But the last time, he was Ambassador Boakai was on top, and knowing the connections he has with Bon, right? Give us. Favor him in that area. So I still have that list where we gave him Bon the last time as well, and then we gave him when it came to Margibi. I forgot who we gave Margibi to, but when you look at Margibi, Grand Bassa is another area of contention that we talked about a lot the last time.
Yeah, according to our colleague. He said if Joe Walker will win on the first ballot, it will be determined by the votes coming from Bon County.
Right.
He must lead in Bon County. That will give him a victory for the first round. But just in case if the ruling party take over Bon County, the possibility of Joe Walker winning the first ballot was not going to be possible. Mm-hmm. And then looking at things now, Ambassador Weird is sitting on top of Bon County, so there is a second round in the making. Margibi, the Unity Party, still remained on top of it. In Grand Bassa, the ruling party leads with a little margin. And then River says the result today was good for the Unity Party. So for Bon County now, the numbers that are there, they are very few. So there's a likelihood of a runoff election.
Yeah, they
And then
are.
I will, I will advise.
So, folks, go ahead, finished up. So I will.
If there will be a runoff, like we are projecting, I will strongly advise the Unity Party, all these areas that they mark to have fraud, they should challenge it before going to the runoff. But if they can't do it, if they just allow the system to be like this, if they go to the runoff, it will be bad.
Yeah, another interesting area I want us to look at is Nimba County, because these are areas that have predominantly a lot of population and a lot of dominance, right? So far they did well. Waka did well in that area with 137,433 votes so far, 59.53% of votes coming in, and the results today came up to was tallied out of 733 polling stations, and today out of 736. So right now they only have about 3 polling stations left to be counted. So they literally, that is almost done, 99.59%. We get that part. But the number I want us to look at is the number that we are made in Nimba, 50,269, which is 21.77%. I felt like he should have, he could, that number could have fallen. It should have been smaller than that, which that's my proposition. But when you look at the Gonglo factor, with 16,856, and this Appleton factor with 6,144, it's gonna squeeze Buakai votes. It squeezed Buakai votes, and they kind of just, we may have had a part to play with that, to play with that, because we know the sons of Nimba and the daughters of Nimba, they have one of their own, second to the presidency. So they came in, and when they support you, people from Nimba support you, they support you. That's how it is. You have the godfather, Prince Johnson, in there. And so they turn up really, really well. The turnout is not bad. But when I look at Tewon Gonglo and Appleton Edward, what they came up with, that's almost 20-some thousand votes, the both of them combined. So it played out. That would have been a little bit more different story. But now that if they do go to the runner, they're all out of the game, right? They're all out of the game if they go to the runner. That is the beauty when you look at Nimba County.
Okay, let me chip in Nimba. I think the people of Nimba did extremely well. They had 3 candidates in the race. One of them is a vice presidential candidate. Well, the other 2, you have Jeremiah and Dr. Jeremiah Wapu. He is from Nimba too. Are you aware?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you have Tiawan Se Gonglo. He is from Nimba too. So Jeremiah Kung is a vice presidential candidate. All along, you notice in 2005 when Dr. Jeremiah Zekwoto contested the presidency, peace be to his ashes, the people of Nimba unanimously voted for their son. The runoff election, he supported Madam Salif. Madam Salif became president. In 2011, Senator Prince Johnson contested for the presidency. The people of Nimba unanimously supported their son. He didn't win, but they stood with him. He came, I think, 3rd in the race. He became a kingmaker in the runoff election of 2011.
Right.
In 2017, Senator Prince Johnson did same. He contested for the presidency. He came 3rd. He became a kingmaker in the runoff election of 2017 that President Weah hugely benefited from in 2017. Today, we have Dr. Jeremiah Dizet Wapo, we have Councillor Tiawanze Konglo, and then we have their son running to be vice presidential candidates. But the 2 presidential candidates pulled in Nimba. You can't compare that to the vote that Dr. Jeremiah Dizet Kodo pulled in 2005. The vote Senator Pete Johnson put in 2011 when he was running to be president,
Right.
you can compare it with the vote that the two presidential candidates today put in Nimba County. So they took few of the votes, but the people of Nimba County did extremely well than the people of Lofa County to stand with their own.
Yeah.
So in the runoff,
and that was the era where I was going.
Yeah. In the runoff election,
the Lofa factor.
Yeah, the runoff election in Nimba County will be revisited. It will be revisited. Those chunks of vote that went to Councillor Gonglo, Councillor Gonglo, let's do it hypothetical. Councillor Gonglo will go to CDC, or Dr. Wapo will go to CDC. I mean, the people already know who is closer to the presidency or the vice presidency. Unlike our own people in Lofa County, they went the way they went because of the cash politics that was played. And then I can tell you for free, if these elections go into runoff like we all saying, what happened in Foya or Lofa will not be repeated. Thomas Fala got what he, oh yeah, I can tell you for free, mark this today. Thomas Fala, what he was seeking for, he got it at the expense of the ignorance of our people. But now, for Thomas Fala to go to Foya, get on national radio to tell the people of Foya district that they should vote against Joe Barker for the second time, that will not happen.
Yeah, that would be very intriguing to see. You know, especially that's a very salient, smart analysis just brought out right there, because to go against your own father,
yeah,
right? If it will reinforce the many accusations that people have accused Thomas Fala of campaigning in Foya, and they'll say, "Oh, this is elections. This is the party the man is in. That's why he projects. So he's going to go for that." But you know the culture and the tradition. Yes, he's won the representative position already in Foya. That we know, right? But for him to go campaigning in Foya and villages, don't vote, because this thing now is between Joseph Nyoma Boakai and George Manewia, two people.
Yep.
For him now, as a son of Foya, to say, you will not vote for my pa, you'll vote for somebody else. That would be very interesting to see.
Very interesting. So just mark this date.
That'll be very interesting to see, folks.
It'll be very much.
I think I'm beginning to like the politics. You getting me a little energized to see part 2, which is the runoff. To see what part 2 will look like, right? Because Lofa, let me see. Let me bring that up.
And then if you also go to Kulahun, a son of Kulahun was elected representative on the CDC ticket in Momo Siafa Boto to defeat the incumbent representative Clarence Massacre of UP.
Right.
You think Momo Siafa Boto, who was just elected, will go to Kulahun and tell the people of Kulahun, because the first one, the people of Kulahun unanimously voted for Joe Barker. You think Momo Siafa Boto
and tell them,
vote for Joe Barker?
You must now vote for your uncle.
The first thing the people will be very clear. You came to us that you wanted to be. We voted for you to be representative.
Right.
But where we see things now, we have two persons in the race. Joe Barker is to our heart as compared to President George Weah. So Lofa would be a different Lofa.
So when you look at Lofa itself, so far we have 100% of votes that have been tallied. 424 out of 424 polling places, right? Boakai won 73,761 votes, which transfer into 56.16%. And George Weah came up with 35,951 votes, which I feel like George Weah actually played in the home. He really played in the home of Joe Barker, because we don't see that play to the southeast, where the numbers, guys, the election commission play in the minds of the people as in there's nothing Joe Walker can do on the southeast that George we are terrain there. But we know that those numbers that came from the southeast, yeah, those are not true numbers for JMP.
And then another thing you should take into consideration, a lot like I said here the last time, a lot of people were trucked into various counties, to be specific, like my hometown Foya. Thomas Fala truck, a lot of people.
Even if those people were truck, we agree, right? We agree. There were a lot of innuendos, accusations, counter accusations. The border between Sierra Leone was shut down, closed, and then the border with that of Guinea was open. You know, at the advantage of Thomas Fala. Those were all, you know, accusations, things that came up. Granted, Sam, right?
This is why I'm coming to. Let me learn my thought. Those voters that were trucked into the various counties, they were trucked there by candidates. So those that won and those that lost, they are done already. They will not be a factor to transport them back for the runoff election. One thing you experience, there will be a low turnout in the runoff election. Like usually, a low turnout. That's the time the people who live in the county or the district will decide. Those 5 or 6 trucks that Tifa carry to Foya.
Yeah, but you can't say that though, because you know CDC got money. They got a lot of money under their pillows and mattresses and stuff.
The first thing the voters will say, I went there for you to make you representative. I'm done with you. It will happen nationwide, not only Foya. So you'll notice there will be a low turnout. That's the time the real inhabitants of these districts or these counties will decide for the presidency.
Wow.
The strangers have left. Usually runoff election, they will not be able to transport these people back home, especially the people that lost election.
But you know
people that win, they are already comfortably still. They won the election. So what's the essence of me trucking people back? They'll go to the personal of the government to give them money. But they will not use the money to take the people back home. They use it for their personal purpose, or maybe they use it for program back home.
Another advantage that I think the opposition may have is, I have a feeling, and looking at the numbers so far, that the opposition will be going into the runoff with a victory win. Right? That if they do go to the runoff, they will be the winners moving into the runoff. So that enthusiasm is there. That energy is there. That might propel them. They just need to find their path. The same thing they've been doing plus more. Bring everybody now, collaborating opposition party members. You're comfortable. We need you. Y'all forget about this one. Y'all leave all the infighting and all that stuff. This thing is a two-man horse race. Now, we need y'all because y'all know the country need to be rescued. So this is the time now, moving into the runoff with that momentum as the winners for this first round. We should give them, because if they don't have that, if they don't move into the runoff with a win, so we have got money. The government is in charge. The government is manipulating things already behind the scene. You and I can see it. So that advantage is already there to the government. So they're going to have to fight. They're going to have to do more than what they did at first. That's my advice to them.
Yeah, the first thing is for a ruling party to struggle beyond an opposition, force an opposition political party to a runoff election speaks volume. It speaks volume by itself. So now, the anger is staying in the people. First in the history of Liberia, from the time I started monitoring the elections, it is my first time to see a turnout in elections like this. I will continue to say this. Anytime you see a huge portion of your population turning out to vote, it's a bad signal for the ruling party. It's a way of expressing anger.
But do you think moving into the runoff with anger, most of the people, the traditional people, the residents, the people that live there, they say, okay, we did this thing, they mess with it. Now we're going to send them a real warning.
That's why you're going
And
to see.
now we need to tell the ruling party we are tired. The reality we don't. And
It's
then
like,
the only thing the opposition now needs to do at that point is to make sure everything that didn't go wrong, that went wrong in this one, at the polling stations, at the ballot boxes, that they will correct everything and make sure, even to the southeast, that they transport and hire people, observers ahead of time to be there to every polling station. Because if they do that, though, these numbers that you and I are seeing coming from the southeast, my man, I tell you, I can put my neck on a chopping board. They will not translate. JMB will make more numbers from that southeast because these numbers are coming from the southeast. They're not realistic. That's just my take. That's my independent take on that.
But Sam, let's go to Bomi County. Snow used to be a giant in Bomi County. He used to be a case maker in Bomi.
Edwin Snow.
Edwin Snow. He used to be a case maker in Bomi. But all of the candidates that he put forth to the people of Bomi County, they were rejected. They were rejected. Adamasogo Tole, that was sponsored and supported by Senator Edwin Melvin Snow, he was defeated by Senator-elect Alex Jenica Tao. Fina Lassana Gbagbai was defeated. She was supported by Edwin Melvin Snow. She was defeated. So you will notice in the runoff election, Snow have no say in Bomi. Because if you supported President Weah and supported two candidates in the race at the local level, and these two candidates lost, and even the presidential candidate that is supported, he lost too as well to an opposition. You think Bomi will go the way of Snow? No.
Let's look at the issue of Grand Bassa. Grand Bassa, so far they have about 84.69% of votes in. And there are when I was doing the tabulation, I was able to observe there are four counties right now that have not crossed the threshold of 90%. 4 counties, and Grand Bassa happens to be one of them. Right now, Grand Bassa is 84.69%. They still have out of 405 polling places, 343 have been reported so far. So they still got a little bit of something coming up to finish that up. Hopefully by tomorrow, we're going to see that up. But when you look at George Weah sitting down on top of the lead table with 39,348 votes, and Boakai has 31,498 votes, right? The factor in there that helped George Weah, when you look at it, is Cummins. Cummins came up with 4,565. And this Appleton guy, Edward, with 4,433. That's almost 9,000 votes right there. Plus. And that helped George Weah to boost up. Because even at that, Grand Bassa, Boakai was very competitive over there. And at one point, I think he took the lead table. Right? And so when you're looking at Grand Bassa now, and from our previous projections, we had literally given Grand Bassa to the CDC. Right. We had given
projection.
Right. We had given them to the CDC. And so that is still at play. It's still there. Tomorrow we will see what is to come, but I still have the feeling that Weah would take Grand Bassa. But if we move into the runoff, Grand Bassa, with Cummins not in the game, Appleton not in the game, Brown Allen not in the game, and all those votes that goes down the list, now is Weah. Do you have a feeling? Do you think that Weah will still win Grand Bassa?
Well, the issue of Grand Bassa, like we stated earlier, we gave Grand Bassa to George Weah. it will. I mean, we're not expecting that Ambassador Barker will upload a serious fight in Grand Basso.
Right.
But given the result now, the runoff election, observe that Gesonga Finley, the senator-elect of Grand Basso County, once served as foreign minister under the CDC-led government.
Mm-hmm.
He resigned his post to go and contest the senatorial election. And in 2020, he lost the election. The CDC didn't bring him back to government. But we saw Deputy Internal Affairs Minister Pauletta Weir, who resigned her post to contest the 2020 senatorial election. When she lost election, she was recalled to government and given back her job as Deputy Internal Affairs Minister. Unlike Besonga Finley, we didn't see that coming. They didn't bring Besonga Finley back into government. And then they couldn't bring Besonga to run on their political party ticket. They put a candidate against Besonga Milton Finley. They put Superintendent Janje Bagbe against Milton Finley. Today, Finley is senator-elect. Finley worked with the United Party government before. They are Buddhists. I'm sure Finley is going to be a factor, and then that factor is going to affect the ruling party. I'm sure he is not going to go to the way of the CDC because of the way they treated him. He is going to go to the opposition, definitely. Now, Cummings is not in the race. The Charlie Bromskin factor will play a role, 4,000 to 5,000 votes they got from Grand Basso. Now she is not in the picture. So Milton Finley, senator-elect, will play a pivotal role in the runoff election in Grand Basso County, and that role that he'll be playing will give boost to the opposition.
And Senator Carpe too.
Senator Carpe as well. Though he lost.
He lost. From looking at all indications.
He lost. He lost, but he still got followers. People believe in him.
Right.
They will support the opposition. So Grand Basso will change. In the runoff. Yeah, that's my projection. Because the way they cheated Finley.
Carpe, those are some good votes right there, because Carpe got about 8,121 votes. Harris Magdalene has 9,848 votes. Right? So when you look at all of those stuff, that is something. That is something. I mean, and moving into the runoff, those people will be all out there. You never know. They all will be out there competing in favor. But you cannot underestimate George Weah, bro.
No, we're not underestimating him, but we're just telling you the factors that will play. If the CDC has voted Besonga Finley in Grand Basso, it will be a difficult game in Basso. They didn't support Finley, but they put candidate against Finley. When he lost his election in 2020, they didn't call him back to government. Allowing to be, but to put a CDC candidate against Finley, then Finley win you. You think Finley will sort out better pills and support you in the runoff election? They miscalculated. Oh yeah, they did.
That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah,
very, very interesting to see. And almost similar scenarios would be at play in these various counties. Similar scenarios will be at play moving forward, because the voice of the people will speak up. And it is that momentum that I think the Weah factor is trying to slow down. The momentum that the people have. Rain or no rain, we're getting Osa. Whether we got it, we ain't get it, we're getting Osa. No money will make this thing work. Now, are the people, with all the efforts you have put in this process, now that he has moved to the second round, are you going to sit by? This is the biggest question. Are you going to sit by and let this thing, because it is that factor they're trying to tap into to get people weak, to now want to be able to turn out. Oh, whatever they decide. Liberian people don't like hard time business. What do you think? That lazy factor might play out too.
That factor that play. The first thing, this is what it was. The anger, like I continue to say, the anger is already in the people. It's like you are killing a snake. You knock it for the first time, it didn't die.
Mhm.
The second round, what do? It's to increase the force to hit on it. It's a if you're supposed to die on one day in the Liberian Palace, if you're supposed to die on one day, you die on Tuesday, they will still call you day, but your name will not change. And then they put exert more force to get you out. Because the people already be hearing on radio stations, on TV stations, that the ruling party attempted to invade the tally center at the Samuel Kanyado Sport complex. They call it. So they already have in mind that the government attempted to cheat. They call it on radio and television that the government may attempt, or the ruling party may attempt to go to Sanekoli Tally Center to disrupt the process. The minds of the people are already open. That the government attempted to do this. So what the people will be doing is to do reinforcement. Is that voting with their whole heart beyond all reasonable doubt.
Do you think ARBC is going to play a much better neutral role this time, as even though it is a government entity radio station, but because they have been flagged by international media networks and also the European Union, that they are taking sides. The government is using a government state-owned media entity where taxpayers' money, that is sustaining them with your money, taxpayers' money and stuff. And the opposition is not benefiting. Do you think they will try to play a much neutral role by covering the Unity Party events?
I don't even expect the ERBC to change until after these elections. They are going to remain a partisan radio station till after the election. The local radio stations, the social media platforms will continue to inform the Liberian people. ERBC is already a partisan station. It's not going to make a difference after these elections. This is why we call up the Liberian people that the program will always carry on back to forward, that is really our people are getting the message. It is resonating well. The Liberian people will continue to listen to this committed radio station. The government owned sponsor ERBC, because ERBC having giving an opportunity to a critical voice to express their view. The only things they do is to give singing and praises to the ruling party of recent, for the negative. So ERBC, even in Morovia, when I was there, ERBC, they didn't play that kind of major role. Most people don't listen to ERBC. The only time people used to listen to ERBC was doing the vernacular announcement in their dialects. Yes, people will switch to the Kissy program, the Bandi, all of the trap, yes. On national debate, no, they don't monitor this radio station. They monitor the private stations.
Do you think Joseph Boaga will win Cape Mount? Right now, we have 69.01% of votes in counted so far.
No, that went.
There are 213 polling places so far. 147 have been reported, and he's sitting on top of the leaderboard with 19,000 plus, and we are 17,000 plus. You think there's any chance for JMB to continue that lead? Because tomorrow we might know.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to get a projection, your viewpoint.
Yeah. Joe Barker is going to lead Grand Cape Mount till the end. Joe Barker is going to maintain the lead in Grand Cape Mount.
Okay. Well, we got to see how significant that lead will be. How much he's going to pull out of Cape Mount. Very interesting to see.
The unknown Soya factor will play the role, but Joe Barker is still going to lead. And then that unknown soldier, you will realize in a runoff election, you will not see people running behind the unknown soldier because his votes are like magic. He don't have that best.
That man vote a magic vote.
Magic votes. So you not see the Unity Party rushing to see, Apitons, to seek his endorsement and whatever. These are magic votes. The real votes will show. The 5,000 that Apiton got in Bon County, for me, specific to be Bon County, that 5,000 he got, I want to see those 5,000 votes in the runoff election. If it was going to be Tiawonse Gonglo in Bon County, because his running mate Yapaulo is from Bon, if you're going to be Alexander B. Cummings, he campaigns in Bon, I wouldn't have had a problem with. For that unknown soldier to get 5,000 votes, those magic votes, we want to see them in the runoff election.
Do you think moving into the second runoff, you know the positioning of the candidates, right? On the ballot box. Bwaka came before Weah. So do you think David Yeda Brown will be able to move Bwaka to number one? Or do you think Bwaka should stay as number two because the people are so used to rescue two with a sign rescue two and put Weah on number one?
No, it will not be like that. It will be done alphabetically. So Bwaka will be number one.
Do you think that's going to have any impact, any play at all? You know, the old people there from the villages and towns, whatever number you pull, whatever this and that. It's number two. Now, two people. As soon as they see they want, they're going to check.
Now, I mean, even some of us are still discussing that Appleton got this number, the unknown soldier got these numbers because he was placed on number one. Usually, like in the Leeward counties, when people take their ballot papers, they don't want to go through the process checking for their candidate. You that are on number one, they likely going to pick you. We are doing this argument that, maybe that's how they are doing so your boss these votes. So
right.
If Joe Biden is placed as number one, that'll be an added advantage for him.
Right now, polling stations, total polling stations 5,890, and 5,467 has been reported. And we have about 423 to go. And it is most likely that this thing might be heading into the runoff. Looking at all the numbers and a lot of factors that led to this. And I know both parties are looking and observing. But my thing is the Unity Party. They need to come up with their results. Their tallying results, where they have those tally sheets that were signed from their war room, from the magistrates and observers, and it went to NEC. I think they need to come up with that so we can compare. It's very much so. Because they have told our people, the other people say that they won. CDC said that they were winning on the first ballot. Unity Party said they were winning on the first ballot. And now the person in between that is NEC. But the law does not stop any of them from revealing their results. The law doesn't stop them. They have the right to go ahead. And that is my scenario wherein I think it will help to put NEC on their toes to do the right thing. It will help to put them on their toes to do the right thing. That these people, all what we have has already been published out there to the world. They have it. This thing took place. We all signed onto it. So going back to change that will require a lot of explanation. A lot of explanation it will require. But Unity Party is still holding on to that. I think by tomorrow they should let the cat out of the bag. They need to let the cat out of the bag. Even today they had a press conference indicating that they know they have won the election. Show me the evidence. In a court of law, the one that wins the case is the one who provides the evidence. Now, you can have all your your oral or arguments and stuff. If the evidence is not shown to the judge, you have no case. You have to prove it. So Unity Party, prove it. Show us the evidence. Come up with it tomorrow. And then use that evidence to challenge NEC results. The people will speak for themselves. The people have spoken.
Right? Yeah, and Sam.
The people have spoken, and then you have in your hand what you have that have given you that right, that privilege to prove that you have won the elections. Don't waste time. Show it. Publish it on your website. This is supposed to be on JMB website a long time. All the tally sheets, everything. Let's see it. We want it. Let's chew it. Let's get on it. And then we can now sit down independently. Let the world sit down, the international community, because America is watching. Let me tell you this. With Secret or with Uncle Sam, America will not come and interfere. They will sit down and watch. The only time America will sit down when there's war in the streets. At the time they want to come in. And some, even that one, they will feel very reluctant. And they begin to understand that. So you gotta put their back to the wall.
Sam, I think it is the best thing that the Unity Party did, not to come out with her own talent sheet result to publish it.
No,
document.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you on that.
No, for now, let it keep these documents, those talent sheets. Let it.
So what's the strategy? Then what's the strategy? If tomorrow, hopefully, all the results will be announced.
It can be challenged. It can be challenged. You can call for recount.
Well, how you going to challenge it? Publish. I just publish. Let the world see.
You challenge it in court. Like it was identified that there is a polling error on the bypass.
Where you can challenge in Liberia, not anywhere in Liberia that you will get with the sitting government that it will move anywhere. Where the chief justice is in favor of the government, right? So $100+ million drug case scheme. It went under the table. Another 40 million king. It went under the table. What made you think that you challenge it? They would, you know what? They would just say, "Oh, for the sake of peace, y'all let it go. For the sake of peace, we don't want no more trouble. Liberia has gone through war, too much suffering. The country already suffering. The people suffering. No other war here. That is what will be done, bro. You got to be a militant, very proactive.
No, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that. Let's say you announce today that, oh, this is your result of your tally sheets. You call a elaborate press conference. What will come out of it? Keep your evidence and use it in court. Like it was identified that there is a polling place.
Did you ask me to say what will come out of it? I just told you what will come out of it. What will come out of it is this. You are telling NEC these results that you are about to pronounce. This is the evidence. It's already out there. You go counter to that. You're in it wrong.
They will not be announcing the result. They will not be announcing the result that you be countering. The only thing you will be doing, your result you having, plus the one they will be pronouncing. You will be recording them. These are the evidence that you'll be using in court. So let it wait for them tomorrow. Let it announce the result. Those points that they are jotting down, plus what they have is what they're going to be using in court. That's the best way to go. Yes.
Well, that's your opinion. I got my own take.
Oh yes.
But that's why we have to let all those opinions out there, so at least they can see it and listen to it and take the best opinion. Something that works best for them. Anyway, you got anything else for our viewers so we can shut down for the rest of the night? It's late in Liberia. It's already morning. Is it morning? Yeah, I think. And
I think it should be morning in Liberia.
It's late here. It's the first day of the week, first working day. Monday is very hectic for some of us who work. You know, I'm sitting down here and I'm tired. I'm beat up. I just had to make sure I keep I do the people's business, but I'm beat up. As you can tell how my eyeball looking tonight.
Yeah, there is fatigue in it.
Yeah, a lot of fatigue. You know, I can tell myself physically. But we have to do this job for our people. We got to keep their awareness. We got to keep them informed of what's happening around the globe and also in Liberia. You know, like I always say, even in yesterday's broadcast, as you go to bed, pray for Israel. Israel is at war with Hamas. You know, yesterday there was a protest here that I covered live. You know, Palestinians in the street protesting for peace, calling for peace. You know, the invasion that Israel is about to do. And you know, when Israel is stepping somewhere with the support, they have the air power support, the ground
Power.
support, you know,
Amen.
it's hard to just win to beat, because especially with America backing Israel, with Great Britain behind Israel, with France behind Israel, and all those other power nations. What can you do? I don't know how those people live over there, Gaza, with enemies. They hate each other so much,
So much.
that they don't want to see Israel on the face of this earth as a nation. You try. Every time you try, you fail. Every time you try, you fail. But very interesting, you know. So let's keep praying for Israel, for peace to reign. That's all we can do. The same way we're praying for the nation of Liberia, for peace to reign. Your anything else you want to say, bro? Say, and then we do our parting comments for the night.
All right, I just want to say to our people in Liberia, in the diaspora, that from what we saw today or what we read, let roll our sleeves for and run off elections. Let all of us continue to talk out to our people back home that there is a need to get this government off our back, to have a new government that respects human dignity so that our country can move forward. That's all I have to say, but let's prepare for a runoff election. Thank you very much for having me today.
Appreciate you, man, for coming up too. Folks, there you have it. Thank you for following us. You want to swing by or sit by and enjoy your little song? Your nice little old school. You know me, I like old school.
Yeah, give me one old school there. Let me be listening in the meantime.
Folks, we'll be here tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
We'll be here tomorrow. But get up, have faith, and have confidence. Never give up. Keep fighting. Keep fighting till you reach the finish line. That's how we do it. Have a pleasant night.
Lucky ball.
My baby don't take all the lapa. You lily don't take all the lapa. My baby don't take all the lapa. You lily don't take all the lapa. Ate, on moi so ate. Can you make it fun? Can you make it look sexy? Can you make it fun? My dear angel, you're not supposed to dig it up. My dear angel, you're supposed to play. Ooh, you can make a papa. You can make a papa look sexy. You can make a papa. You can make a papa look sexy. Madam, my baby don't take all the lapa. You lily don't take all the lapa. My baby don't take all the lapa. You lily don't take all the lapa. Do for me, I will do for you. If you cool my heart, I will cool your heart. Do, my you do for me. Freedom.
If you want to get a good wife, okay, do 5 things for your wife. If you want your wife to respect you, do 5 things for your wife. Oh yeah, number 1, always give your wife money. Number 2, don't forget to give her money. Number 3, okay, keep giving her money. Number 4, don't go out without giving money. Number 5, if the money finish, go and borrow money, because women, they like money. If you don't get money, don't follow woman. Women, if you want your husband to be the best, listen to me. Any woman will go do this one, your husband will love you till he die. If you want to get the best husband, do 2 things for your man. Men, we know they greedy. Now 2 things we want for marriage. Number 1, don't ever love your husband. Now mad woman, now they love a man. No woman can ever love a man. Now man get right to love woman. Even inside Bible, he did here. That's why Bible tell man to say, he say, man, love your wife. Papa Bishop, she know be so. You know say woman, love your husband. You say, man, love your wife. Your food, you know they make us joy you. You will know who cook to pass you. Caring we don't need. You know they put money for our pockets. The thing where man need, give your man respect. Respect your husband. If you say sit down, madam sit down. If you say run, madam they run. If you say disappear, madam disappear. The second thing you go do for man, that one go make man increase. Any woman will do this one, your husband will love you till he die. Avoid our phone, oh. You dey hear me? Leave our phone alone, oh. Don't be your papa by the phone. Leave our phone for us. Before thunder, go fire you. That thing where they find for the phone, I swear, it dey inside. And if you see him, now you go cry. If you cry finish, you go your papa. If I'm making sense, clap for me now.